Are you waking up tired no matter how much you sleep? Do you feel like you're running on a treadmill that's moving just a little too fast? You aren't just tired, you might be experiencing burnout. Today, we're going to break down why this happens, and more importantly, how you can claw your way back to balance. Burnout was once thought of as a work-only problem, but the World Health Organization now recognizes it as a significant occupational phenomenon with deep psychological roots. It is the result of chronic workplace stress that hasn't been successfully managed. However, in our hyper-connected world, burnout spills into our homes, our relationships, and our very sense of self. Understanding the difference between temporary stress and true burnout is the first step toward reclaiming your life.
Welcome to Health 600's Noble Science in 600 seconds. Your life-changing 10 minutes. Let's go!
Mentally, brain fog becomes your new normal, making even simple decisions feel like climbing a mountain. Many people mistake this for simple laziness, but it is actually your brain's defense mechanism against overstimulation. If you find yourself snapping at colleagues or feeling a sense of dread when your alarm goes off, your body is sounding an alarm. Recognizing these red flags early is vital. If ignored, the invisible thief of burnout will eventually steal your productivity, your happiness, and your health. Chapter 2: Why We Break, the Science of Chronic Stress. To fix burnout, we have to understand what's happening under the hood. When we face a challenge, our body triggers the fight or flight response, releasing cortisol and adrenaline. This is helpful for short-term survival, like hitting a deadline. However, when the deadline never ends, your HPA axis, the system that controls your stress response, gets stuck in the on position. This chronic elevation of cortisol is toxic. It shrinks the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for executive function and decision-making, while overstimulating the amygdala, your brain's fear center. This is why, when you're burned out, you feel both paralyzed and hyperreactive. Modern life exacerbates this through context switching. We jump from emails to meetings to social media, never allowing our nervous system to return to a baseline of rest and digest. Furthermore, our culture often glamorizes the hustle, equating busyness with worthiness. This creates a psychological trap where we feel guilty for resting, which only fuels the cycle of depletion. We aren't designed to be always on. Biologically, we require periods of oscillation, pulses of high energy followed by deep recovery. When we break that rhythm for months or years, the biological machinery simply wears out. Understanding that burnout is a physiological reality, not a character flaw, is essential for removing the shame that often prevents people from seeking help or slowing down. Chapter 3: Setting Boundaries, the Art of Saying No. The most difficult part of recovery is often the social and professional fallout of setting boundaries. Burnout often happens to high achievers and people pleasers who have a hard time saying no. To recover, you must learn that no is a complete sentence. Start by auditing your energy. What tasks give you energy and which ones drain it? You must create a digital moat around your personal time. This means turning off work notifications after 6 p.m. and resisting the urge to check emails first thing in the morning. In the office, it means being realistic about your capacity. Instead of saying, "I can't do that," try, "I can prioritize that if we move this other project to next week." Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They are gates that protect your mental energy so you can actually show up effectively when it matters. Without boundaries, your recovery will only be temporary. Chapter 4: The Recovery Roadmap, Small Wins for Big Change. Recovery from burnout is not a sprint, it's a slow rebuilding of your internal foundations. The first step in the roadmap is radical rest. This isn't just lying on the couch, it's active recovery. This includes non-sleep deep rest, NSDR techniques, such as yoga nidra or guided meditation, which help reset the nervous system. Next, look at your biological basics. Are you eating nutrient-dense foods that stabilize your blood sugar, or are you surviving on caffeine and sugar? Are you moving your body in a way that feels good, or are you forcing yourself through punishing workouts that only add to your stress? Another crucial element is the micro-break strategy. Research shows that taking a 5-minute break every hour to look at nature or do a breathing exercise can prevent the cumulative buildup of stress. Finally, reconnect with your why. Often, burnout happens because our daily actions have become disconnected from our core values. Reevaluating what truly matters to you, whether it's family, creativity, or service, can provide the intrinsic motivation needed to navigate a career shift or a lifestyle change. This roadmap requires patience. You didn't burn out in a week, and you won't recover in one. Celebrate the small wins: a night of good sleep, a day without checking work apps, or a hobby rediscovered. These are the bricks that build a resilient life. Chapter 5: Future Proofing Your Mind, Building Resilience. Recovery is the goal, but resilience is the long-term shield. To future-proof your mind, you must move from a reactive life to a proactive one. This means building a resilience toolkit before the next crisis hits. It involves fostering deep social connections, people who value you for who you are, not what you produce. It involves regular self-reflection, perhaps through journaling, to catch the early signs of stress before they spiral. Most importantly, it requires a fundamental shift in perspective, seeing rest not as a reward for hard work but as a prerequisite for it. By integrating these habits, you don't just go back to who you were before the burnout. You become someone stronger, more self-aware, and better equipped to handle the complexities of the modern world. You deserve a life that feels as good on the inside as it might look on the outside. Start small, stay consistent, and be kind to yourself. Don't just watch, take action right now. I have already shortlisted the exact products and tools you need to secure your results. Scan the video description below to get your protocol hardware today.
This is Health 600s, and I'll see you in the next 600 seconds.